and welcome to my channel. My name is Sean, sometimes known as the Beast, amongst other things, and I've got 4 releases to show, 2 CDs, 2 vinyl records, all black metal, but like varying degrees of black metalness. Now I'm guessing that metalness isn't even a real word, but that's what we're going with. So hopefully you'll find something of interest and you'll rush out and buy it or steal it or whatever, but you need to hear them. So first up is the band Nidurns. This is called Darkness Cenotaph. This came out in 2020. This is the debut full length out on Black Gangrene Productions. This project is from Portugal. I showed one of their compilations in a previous video that had a demo on and then sort of a long 20 odd minute track, which was rather superb. The following day or the following evening, I just happened to be flicking through eBay and this was on there for a really silly price. I probably would have preferred to get it on vinyl, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. And I'll just absolutely twirl up to the case, which is not very good, is it really? There's the disc. Yeah, as I said before about Nidurns, this is very very powerful, emotive black metal. This actually starts, the first track on this is quite it's quite haunting, even sort of like wonderful, you could use. A keyboard led piece that's got like a really calming atmosphere to it. As soon as track 2 kicks in, the calmness is replaced by just absolute savage audio assault of your senses. There's blistering drums, frantic guitars, awful screeched vocals that can tear your soul apart, full of torture and just anguish, and it pretty much carries on like that until the last track which is another quite ambient, melancholic release. But yeah, this is an absolute, I would definitely say this is an essential listen if you're a fan of the more black metal on the more raw side, as it were. I mean, it's certainly not a lo-fi recording. Again, it sort of captures that lo-fi feel, but without the sound quality that you associate with something that's done lo-fi. Just an absolutely wonderful release. I think I will, if I see it on vinyl, I will definitely be getting it on vinyl, because it's absolutely cracking album. So that's the first one. That is Nidurns and his debut full length Darkness Cenotaph. Now next up is an album that I was made aware of by Matthew over at Altars of Madness. No great surprise. He seems to enjoy helping me spend my money. I will say straight away, I'm not the biggest fan of Tolkien and his works. I sort of know, you know, the worlds and stuff. I've watched the movies and things, but not to the degree that some people tell you the name of the lead orcs and his brother's Budgie or whatever. Anyway, so the band in question are called One of Nine. This is Dawn of the Iron Shadow 2025 release. This is actually their second full length out on Profound Law. This project is from the US of A. As I said, I'm not a fan of Tolkien. This story does sort of, it takes you into the world of Tolkien, as it were, but don't let that distract you from what is a fantastic album. You don't need to know anything about orcs and whatever elves and shit like that. this is just a wonderful piece of almost cinematic. You could probably describe it as like cinematic, melodic black metal. It does have the some of the traits that you'd expect of a more modern style of black metal. In it we get a poster. Oops, daisy. Get artwork that way. Apologise for the glare. We also get quite a thick booklet with lyrics and with pictures and, you know, all that good stuff that the orcs and geeks and people seem to enjoy. This is on black wax. Yeah, this is one of those records that the more you listen to it, the more you get out of it, the more it becomes an integral part of the story that you go through. Which track is it now? Is it Dreadful Leaf, I believe it's called. Hulda sings vocals on that, and her voice adds just a completely different layer to sort of the rest of the album. It's a very complex, but without being overly like proggy or anything like that. It's just a really, really wonderful listen, and I haven't had it very long. It's probably been spanned, I would guess, probably 6 times maybe, and each time you just hear something new, something slightly different. Absolutely belting, cracking release, and it's sort of it's a good contrast to Nidurns and how the black metal genre can encapsulate so many different subgenres, as it were. But yeah, absolutely wonderful record. So that is One of Nine and Dawn of the Iron Shadow. Now the next one is an album that's been out for eons, and it is actually celebrating its 30th anniversary next year, sorry. And these gentlemen are performing at the Fortress Festival. So when I saw that they were going to be performing at the Fortress Festival, I thought I better give it a listen. The OG presses of this are just silly money. Luckily this is a repress or remaster, a reissue, whatever. The band in question are called Vintterland. The album is called Welcome My Last Chapter. This was originally released in 1996. This is the debut and only full length by these gentlemen. This version is a 2022 reissue on Black Lodge Records, and I've just noticed it's got a seam split, which is fucking annoying. Quite simply, this is fantastic. This is melodic death metal that still has that that edge to it. I don't know if I said these gentlemen are from Sweden. It still has that Swedish sound, but it's the melodies that carry it through are just so intrinsic to why it is such a good record. You still get the rapid drumming, you still get the, you know, that like repetitive riff style that sounds simplistic but obviously isn't. Again, I don't like using the word simplistic, but it's not. You can see the gents there getting ready for Sunday school. Yeah, it's just an absolute. I'm pretty sure this will be a highlight of Fortress Festival next year. Why am I trying to re-sleeve on camera? You tit. This version is on quite a fetching purple coloured wax, which again I suppose it does sort of go with the cover, but yeah, it's just the vocals are quite harsh, but they aren't at the upper end of like the screeches and stuff like that. You can still understand what's being said. You can still hear the message he's trying to get across. I suppose the easiest way for me to try and get my point across about this is go and listen to it with an open mind, and you'll hear the black metal tropes, as it were, but there's extra little bits of what's the word, not intricacies as such, but it's just, yeah, this version is remastered by Dan Swano, so you know you're going to get something a bit special. I don't know how different it is to the original release. I would like to track down a copy of the original release, but you know, like I said, it just goes for silly money. But yeah, I think this is going to be a bit special next year at Fortress Festival. So if you're there and you see myself or the mighty legend that is Johnny Macrock or Metal Plus, please pop over and say hello. There is a download code that I don't know if the camera will focus on it, hopefully it will. But it's one of those ones where you do need to go onto a laptop to download it, I believe. Hopefully that's focused. So yeah, Vintterland, and welcome my last chapter. Talking of last, this is the last thing I'm going to show today, and I've saved this till the end because, well, quite simply, it's just fucking incredible. Again, this is an art. I've showed this artist quite a lot, for good reason. This is the latest, probably about the 700th thing he's put out this year, release from the mighty Warhammer 666. This is Hate Crimes. I believe it's the 4th EP out on the wonderful Fomorian Productions. Black metal from Australia via, I nearly said Seattle then, it's not Seattle, it's New Jersey. And this is just absolutely, it's just incredible. This isn't as raw and as savage as you may expect if you listen to any of the other stuff that a certain gentleman has put out. Massive shout out the fact that my name's mentioned in dispatches down here somewhere. The lettering is that small, though you will need a massive magnifying glass to see it, but still nice to be mentioned in dispatches. The disc looks like that. Yeah, this is just an absolutely belting release. This has got more of a groove to it. More, I was going to say melody, but that sounds a little bit disrespectful. Listening to this, it will leave you in no doubt whatsoever that Lee knows his craft. He can just, the amount of stuff he's put out this year, and it's all been superb, it's just ridiculous. I've said before, for me, he's got some of the best black metal vocals going, and they certainly don't disappoint on this one. Track 2 is called Coming In Loaded. I'm Coming Home Loaded, sorry. And it's even, at the risk of being shot down in flames, I would say that's almost got like a black and roll type vibe to it. You know, it's really, really catchy. It's absolutely brilliant. The drums on this are just amazing. The sound from the drums is absolutely spot on. The kick drums in I'm Coming Unloaded, it's impossible to sit still and while you're listening to it. Even if you're a quadriplegic, you'll be tapping your toes. It's that catchy, it's unbelievable. Track 6 is called Lepers, and it features Rivok on guest vocals from Mordant Red and Gruesome Dave on Ghoulish Dave on guitar. The guitar work on that last track is absolutely exemplary. It's absolutely wonderful. That song has got quite almost like a punk rock type feel to it, whilst still got the undoubtedly, you know, you can tell it's Warhammer 666. The vocals are amazing. When both guys, I was going to say harmonising, but that doesn't seem right. When they sing together, it's absolutely wonderful. To be honest, if those three nutters decided to release a full album, I would be at the front of the queue waiting to get a copy, because I can listen to that shit all day. That's a song that gets played time and time again. I mean, it's an EP, it's only got 6 tracks on, so it all does, but especially that one. If you need a song to sort of just give you a kick in the face and say, "Owie, get your head a shake, let's get some fun back," stick that on, and I guarantee you'll be tapping your toes, you'll be fucking punching your grandma and just having fun. So yeah, so once again, that is Warhammer 666 and Hate Crimes, out on Fomorian Productions. And there is, of course, the obligatory Fomorian Productions sticker that comes with it as well, and a little handwritten note from his which is class. So that's it for this one. It was just a bit of a, you know, what I've been listening to type thing again. There is probably going to be a death metal update next. Again, there's a few more ideas going around in the old grey matter to just try and change things up a little bit, but hopefully some of these won't have heard of, or you'll know far more about than I do, and you can correct all my mistakes. Do the usual thing if you feel like it, of liking, subscribing, commenting, and whatever other things you're supposed to do to let YouTube know, yeah, he's doing alright. Like I say, we'll be back, God knows. I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure it won't be too long. Enjoy whatever music you're listening to. Enjoy whatever genre of music you're listening to. And as always, until we come back with some more inane drivel and hopefully something you've never heard of. Cheers!